easily goes over the top.
Did she just win this underneath?
Right, near sideline. The ball was called in.
And Serena Williams, with that forlorn look, is this going to be the match?
Yes.
Azarenka has done it.
She says
Serena walking over.
1663, 63.
The quest for a 24th Grand Slam title ended yesterday. For yet again, Serena Williams and Victoria Azarenka putting an end to her title, 24th title chase. Winning in 3 sets, 11 wins from 11 games, and 4 scores, first finals since 2013. Azarenka returns to the US Open final, where she has lost twice to Serena before. Of course, it was a battle of the mothers. 6-1, 6-3, 6-3. The Belarusian Azarenka was victorious over Serena Williams. Heartbreaking moments, you call that, for the American 38-year-old. Definitely she will be disappointed to have lost out in the semi-final. Just 2 wins away from equaling Margaret Court's title, but yet again, she has to look to the future. When will Serena Williams, or will Serena Williams ever equal Margaret Court's 24 Grand Slam title? Welcome aboard to another edition of Sports Spectra. At this one on Pensioners 106.7 FM. The sports illuminator, Raymond Stillock, is here again behind the MIC. Hope you guys are doing good. 11th day in the month of September. I'm going to start straight, definitely from the US Open. Like I said, Serena Williams has lost out to Victoria Azarenka 6-1, 6-3, 6-3. Serena Williams took the 4 sets, but lost out in the other 2 sets to the Belarusian 31-year-old, making a 3rd final at the US Open Flushing Meadows. For Serena Williams, first time losing to Azarenka. But this time around, he counted so much. Jennifer Brady, also home girl, Jennifer Brady, 20th seed, lost to Naomi Osaka, 4th seed at this tournament. At 7-6, 6-3, 6-3, it ended in that second semi-final. So we're going to have Victoria Azarenka against Naomi Osaka, who has won here before, a former US Open winner. Azarenka is a 2-time Australian Open winner. 31-year-old against a 22-year-old Japanese. I can't wait for that to happen on Saturday. After from the men's singles, today will be the semi-final games. Pablo Carreno Busta against Alexander Zverev, and of course, Daniil Medvedev against Dominic Thiem. All is set to be played for today at the men's singles of the US Open. We're counting down. Tomorrow, the women's final will be going down, and on Sunday, the return of the men, the ATP final. We're going to have a new winner at the US Open and the ATP. No Federer, no Nadal, no Djokovic. We're going to have a new winner this time around. Away from tennis, we move straight to the NBA, where the LA Lakers are just a game from going to the final. Of the Western Conference out there, the NBA going down in Florida yesterday. It was LA Lakers 110 points to win over the Houston Rockets. 110-point win. And of course, Houston Rockets had 100 points in that one. Anthony Davis contributed with 29 points. LeBron James 15 points. And of course, 9 assists. Just one match left. One game win for Lakers, and it will be all over for the Houston Rockets. And of course, that's that from NBA. Of course, today, Game 7 already at the Eastern Conference is going to be Toronto Raptors against Boston Celtics in the match decider. Game 7, 3-3 tied on the series, and of course, it's going to be a cracker tonight. 2 a.m. Nigerian time, midnight. Can't wait for that. Okay, let's come back home quickly. Allowed to talk about within the home front. And a big deal for the federal government of Nigeria with a sudden U-turn. The federal government has said it has not lifted the ban on contact sports, including football, and missed preparation by the Nigerian Professional Football League clubs ahead of the 2020-2021 season. And the national coordinator of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Dr. Sani Aliyu, while answering questions at a press briefing in Abuja yesterday, said the PTF had only removed restrictions on non-contact sports. He said, and I quote, on the issue, I'm a football fan, but sadly, we have not allowed contact sports at the moment. We have only allowed non-contact sports, and so football is not included. All those football fans, it's not yet time. We're looking at this, and we'll continue relaxing when the time comes. And of course, it is safe to do so, Ali said. So, no contact sport yet, non-contact sport can go ahead. But anything contact, like football, basketball, rugby, talk about it, you are not allowed yet. So football fans, we are being told to calm down. It's not yet time. When it's safe, then we will go back to your loving game called football. Okay, moving on here quickly, where the NNL, Nigerian National League, is taking sponsorship, partnership deals, and says clubs must register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. The Chief Executive Officer of the NNL, Malam Sajo Mohammed, has stated this while fielding questions and saying, as the most important league and art of Nigerian football, the NNL will be run accordingly for the improvement of football development in the country. According to Sajo Mohammed, NNL is ready to return the league where it truly belongs because it has produced talent who have projected Nigeria to the world as a force to reckon with in football. According to him, this can only be achieved through sponsorship and partnership with big and reputable companies. We have a lot of things to do. For example, he said, we want sponsorship and partnership with big companies, reputable ones and organizations. As soon as I got to office, we were in Lagos trying to get sponsors and we got positive response. And the further said, we don't want clubs that are not viable. They are here today and tomorrow. They will tell you they cannot honor matches. This will not happen again. What we are saying is, if you don't register with CAC, the Corporate Affairs Commission, there's no need for us doing any business with you. It's not going to be business as usual. We want to do things right. Sadio Mohammed, Chief Executive Officer of NNL, was speaking this morning. It's not going to be business as usual. We're taking this so serious right away. Of course, still with the NNL, but now coming down to your state. Of course, yesterday I told you about Ayobami Jr., shooting star player, moving over to Kano Pillars. A shooting star coming out to deny such reports, saying Ayobami is still a player. Meanwhile, Kano Pillars has also fired back media officer of the club, Idris Malikawa, has said we owe shooting stars nothing. According to them, we tried to get the player for shooting stars from the beginning. We opened a discussion with them. We even sent them a letter. They demanded high for the player and we withdrew our request. Later, the midfielder came to us. Ayababe came to us and he said he doesn't have a contract with Shooting Stars and came with documents with him. He told us that his contract expired at the end of 2019-2020 season. If you have any complaint, they should call the boy and not Kano Pillars, because as early as possible, we are going to write them. He came with high demand and request which is beyond our expectations. So Kano Pillars is saying the boy is a free agent, we sign him free. He came to us, so if you have any issue, write to Ayababe and not to Kano Pillars. Let's keep watching that saga where it will end. Okay, I'm landing straight in Kwara State in Long. When the Kwara State government, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak has said yesterday that the State Stadium complex in Long will be named after the late Rashidi Yekini, who supposed to be Nigeria all-time goal scorer. Abdulrazak said this during a meeting with the Minister of Youth and Sport Sunday Dare in Abuja. According to a statement, we will send a bill to the State House of Assembly to immortalize Rashidi Yekini with the name of the stadium changing after the approval. Don't forget that Amadi Pinnick advised that the governor should change to immortalize Yekini, and it seems like they are heeding to the words of the NFF president. We might actually have Rashidi Yekini name be immortalized after the State Stadium right there in Ilorin. Talking about honoring our legend. So much new this morning. I have to take this because yesterday I told you that there was the death of the former Scrabble national team player Paul Soje, who was killed by suspected herdsmen after he took a ransom of 1 million to kidnappers who abducted his brother Chris Soje. But this morning I can tell you that the Ondo State Police Command on Thursday and claimed that death, they were not aware of it. According to Ondo State Police Public Relations Officer Mr. Teolio Ikoro, said the incident was not reported at the police division. He said, I don't think anything like that happened at Idoani. I've called the divisional police officer. He said the matter was not reported in Idoani. Paul Soje was murdered at Idoani, but the police are saying they are not aware. It wasn't reported to us. Twists and turns, security of life matters. 8:14 already, so much to talk about. The car was supposed to move to African scene, but my time. Let me take this one quickly from Formula One. Yesterday I told you that Sergio Perez has left. We leave Racing Point at the end of this season 2020. Of course, immediately just as I left the studio, the news came on board that Sebastian Vettel have been signed on by Aston Martin. Racing Point that will turn Aston Martin next season. Time is never a friend on Sports Spectra. I will have broken down what that list looks like, but then maybe on Tuesday, definitely we'll go into that fully on Media Sport. Many thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tiameyo. And of course, my DC on duty, Baba Femi Obidei. Of course, I remain a Raymond to look where the Sport Illuminator saying, keep it locked down, Passion House 106.7 FM. And don't forget that sport is life. Always endeavor to exercise your heart. Saying good morning.